The story started back in 2015 when we moved from having a traditional kindergarten committee to having individual whānau groups where all the people of the place were engaged and were able to take on rangatira roles and lead different projects as well as areas of their interest.
We could do the puppet show that we did last year.
Oh, yes, that was really good.
Put down a hangi.
We're in bigger room.
Yeah.
Because we've got the 4 native karere here in the framework, it gives children a tangible hook that they can describe some really abstract concepts of learning. The 4 native animals that are part of the framework were gifted to us from Whaia Eileen Winiata, who was a nanny in our place at that time with her 2 mokopuna, and we see those as a taonga from our local iwi.
So the kia bird is the reflectiveness learning muscle, so that's children thinking about what they want to achieve, that they know that they can make a plan for that, and that also they can look back on their plan if things are not working out and they can go back and change their plan.
We make plans to play games every day.
This hinaki here, yes, so is that your kia bird plan, that we can use a hinaki like this one? We talk about being like a hammerhead shark, so that's the children persevering in their learning, so they're practicing, never giving up. It's about them also knowing that they can take a break from their learning when think that learning can be really difficult and tricky, and that they can take a break from their learning and return to it later when they feel refreshed.
The hammerhead never gives up, no. When things are tricky and difficult, you've got to give it a go.
The tuatara represents the reciprocity learning muscle, so that's about children collaborating with others, working together, sharing their ideas. It's also listening to the ideas of others. Good. Work together like tuatara to jiggle it right down to the end. Tuna is about resourcefulness, so that's about the children thinking creatively about solving problems and thinking about the resources and people around them and how they can best utilise them to solve their problems.
We be resourceful. Tuna eels are resourceful, helping all our friends. No, that's the helping all the environment.
Teachers are really excited to see kōrero with whānau. We're receiving emails of photos of learning at home, which is then being put into their learning story. So we're seeing an increased level of engagement between whānau and their tamarikis learning in the kindergarten. And you can see she's been very resourceful, wearing this blanket as a korowai.
So George and Rosie have both been through Papamoa kindergarten. George finished 12 months ago. So he's been really engaged with the different animals and their related dispositions, and he's really brought those home with Rosie. She knew all of the animals before she started at kindy, and he still uses them now, whether it's at school or when he's playing with friends.
And as parents, we're engaged with it as well. We find it's very useful just to be able to sort of work with them to create care bird plans about how they're going to execute a particular anything, really.
What's another plan?
And it's great being able to work with the kindergarten, like tuatara, to achieve really good outcomes for our children.
The success of the framework was dependent upon genuine engagement with Māori whānau, but what's exciting now is that as a result of the framework, we're seeing engagement on a whole range of different levels, and an example of that is the relationship that we have with Papamoa College.
Well done.
I bring a whole group of students here, and they will meet with the members of staff here, and the members of staff will talk them through the framework and the different animals.
Skills and develop.
It's really valuable for our students because there's a genuine client and a genuine brief. Rather than being told we want a bridge, they get told what they wanted to do, and our students then have to come up with the ideas themselves with that framework in mind and with that resilience or working together in mind as the starting point of their brief.
The other idea was here, the walking planks, and the kids can put their feet in and walk and play together.
So this is the group that's going to be here next time. So can you
These students here, they were told that they wanted to develop the resilience learning muscle, the hammerhead shark, and that was as much information as the students were given. And then they went away and they came up with ideas such as this, which was going to be difficult for the students to do, challenging, intimidating even, and that students would have to be resilient and persevere with them in order to succeed.